This is a global original podcast with PopBuzz. A quick warning, this podcast contains some adult language. It's 2021 and Little Mix are nominated for Best British Group at the Brits. This is the third time that the girls have been nominated for the award, but they've never won it. In fact, a girl group has never won the award since the Brits were first held over 40 years ago. Are Little Mix about to make history?
And the winner is... Little Mix!
The way that Adam Lambert exclaims Little Mix captures just how important this win is. After years of hoping to receive the British Group Award, Little Mix have broken a barrier for girl groups. And the girls weren't about to let the moment pass without a passionate speech worthy of the occasion.
Oh my goodness. Guys, we have just made history!
We have been together for 10 years. Can I just say, 10 years. It's been the best years of our life. We have gone through so much. We've had so much fun, made so many beautiful memories. We want to start by thanking our incredible fans, of course Jesy, and then our amazing team. It's not easy being a female in the UK pop industry. We've seen the white male dominance, misogyny, sexism, and lack of diversity. We're proud of how we've stuck together, stood our ground, surrounded ourselves with strong women, and are now using our voices more than ever.
That's right. The fact that a girl band has never won this award really does speak volumes. So this award isn't just for us, it's for the Spice Girls, Sugar Babes, All Saints, Girls Aloud, all of the incredible female bands. This one's for you. So thank you, friends.
You can hear in their heartfelt delivery that Perrie, Leigh-Anne and Jade are all on the brink of tears. They know exactly what this award means, not only to them, but to so many young girls watching them. 10 years since they were first put together and Little Mix have achieved the impossible. What's next? We're about to find out.
I love my Little Mix life, my Little Mix world, and I'm so excited for our futures. Yeah, I just feel like it's all good vibes.
I'm Sam Prance from PopBuzz and I'm a Day One mixer. And this is The Power of Little Mix, a podcast series celebrating a decade of making girl group history. Over the course of 5 episodes, I'll be taking you behind the scenes of Little Mix's journey. Throughout the series, we'll have exclusive interviews with Jade, Leigh-Anne and Perrie as they look back on the past 10 years. We'll also hear from members of Little Mix's inner circle. In this final episode, we'll be exploring the most recent stage of Little Mix's career. We'll be looking at the creation of their 6th album, Confetti, how the girls have adapted to becoming a trio, and what the future holds for the band. We'll also find out what we can expect from the girls' next tour when I speak to their creative team, Black Skull, and what it's like to collaborate with Little Mix when I chat to DJ Nathan Dawe and popstar Anne-Marie. From Sweet Melody going #1 in January to their historic Brits win in May, this is how Little Mix cemented their legacy as legends in the music industry. So going into 2020, like you would have had this plan for Confetti and then coronavirus happened. What was the original plan? And were all the singles the same in the end? Or did you have any other big plans before everything got cut short?
Well, I mean, we did plan to do a proper music video for Breakup Song. And I mean, us three, we adored that song, didn't we? Mm-hmm. So when COVID happened and the video got cancelled, we were so upset because it was going to be so good. It was going to be, you know, like a morning TV show. And we all had different roles on set, like very like narrative-led and character-led. We were so excited for it and it didn't happen. We were just gutted. So yeah, I guess single choice wise, we were sort of just doing it as we went along, weren't we? Yeah. I don't feel like there was a particular order at the beginning of the campaign of what songs were going to be singles. We just sort of played it by ear, especially because of COVID. It was like, okay, you know, what's going to work during this sort of climate? And with Holiday, it was like, we might not all be able to go on holiday, but there's no reason why we can't bring this song out and, you know, lift people up a bit and make them happy. I'm glad that was the order because it meant that like songs like Sweet Melody really got their moment. the rules were lifting a little bit so we could actually do a video and do choreo and all that stuff. So timing wise, I think it worked out well. Yeah.
And I mean, all those singles, Breakup Song, Holiday, Sweet Melody, and obviously later Confetti, they're so well arranged in terms of not a second of those songs are wasted. Like your ad-libs or the extra bits you add to the songs to make them spark. I mean, on Breakup Song, when it goes from Jade's incredible middle eight and then you have Leigh-Anne's ad-libs straight afterwards, and then there's Perrie's outro. Do you have a favourite moment in a song you've recorded of like one of your own ad-libs or an ad-lib that one of the rest of you has done?
Oh God.
There's so many.
Yeah.
I love that because we record like individually. So when we hear it back with everybody on it, we'll be like, Jade, yes to that ad-lib. We're like, Leigh, oh my God. Like, it's so nice and refreshing to hear what the other girls have done because we don't know what they're doing until we hear it back.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, all right then. Or the worst one is when I get in the booth and they're like, oh, Jade had this ad-lib idea. Can you sing it? And I'm like, what is it? And they're like, ah! Like right up there. I'm like, thanks, Jade. I love it when you do that to me.
I know, I always come up with like, I'll do a really high ad-lib in this record session. I'm like, ah, and I'm like, I can't reach that. Give it a Leigh or Perrie.
Yeah. And then me and Leigh go in and we're like, sorry, what? And they're like, yeah, Jade had this idea. I'm like, oh, she did.
This is one for you.
Yeah.
So the Secret Love Song performance on The Search, when you did that last note and it sounded like bloody Celine Dion, I'm sorry.
It was.
I am sorry.
No. Really?
It is beautiful.
Oh.
It honestly, it raised the roof at Wembley. It really did.
You guys are cute.
Sometimes I just watch it back like it's unreal.
Really? So I don't think that was my best one. I was quite sad with that one.
Oh no, it was a good in.
Go away.
Oh, thanks, Leigh. It's cute.
I mean, Perrie, then you also like when you do No More Sad Songs on tour and you change the melody and add in those extra high notes, like it's insane.
Oh, thank you. I like to switch it up. I do. Yeah. It's fun to switch it up.
Yeah.
I love when we'll be on stage and like it wasn't planned and Jade will just come out with this riff and we're like, where did that come from? She always does it.
Yeah, and we get distracted and we're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's so good.
Oh.
Thanks, Huds. We're cute, aren't we?
I love Fest right now.
Fine. We're all just like amazing, okay?
We're all just so good. Oh, I have one. Can I say one? Because we didn't say one about Leigh.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And I love In Your Love when she does Love Made Me Feel Alive. That one.
That's when I bloody nail it. Sometimes I don't. It's like, fucking hell. Jesus.
Shut up, but you nailed it every single night, you weirdo. I love that one.
Yeah.
I mean, also, Leigh-Anne, every time you do Touch Acoustic.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And that one.
That one.
Yeah, see?
I'll take that one.
Chills.
Sorry, you can crack on now. Just wanted to get that one in.
And talking of The Search, obviously, how different was judging your own TV show to being on one?
It was actually quite difficult. I'm not going to lie. It was, do you know what? It was such an amazing experience, something different, nice to switch things up, but it was hard. Like saying no to people killed us inside because we were like, we've been there, we've done it, we've had that. Like, it sucks. But then at the same time, the people who did get through and the people we got to mentor, not as well as we'd liked because of COVID, hopefully have changed their lives and give them a massive platform, and they're going to be performing at the O2 arenas and like all over the country. Like, it's just wild.
Yeah.
So I think for that reason alone, doing that show was just incredible to give someone that opportunity that we had.
Yeah.
I mean, the way you girls care, like we still see you interacting with the contestants like Why Change and everyone else. It just shows how much it meant to you and how much you cared about everyone on the show.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, we want to see them do well.
We got so attached to everybody, but it's really hard not to. It's hard to kind of distance yourself and be like, right, this is a professional thing, because it's not, because you see how much it means to them. Like Leigh-Anne cried every 5 seconds, didn't you? Like it was really intense.
Really intense, it was.
Yeah.
It's similar to the relationship you guys obviously had with Talisa on the X Factor. Like, she really was rooting for you every step of the way.
She was our rock. Like, literally, she guided us through the whole experience, and she had our backs, and she was so passionate, and she was just an incredible mentor.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just for the cameras either. It was 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she'd come over to the house and make everybody dinner, make a roast, and come and hang out with us. And then she'd just randomly turn up to the house one day. We'd all sit on the beanbags and she'd ask how everyone was. And she'd want to like hang out, which meant the world to us. But yeah, I think Talisa's one of the main reasons why we did so well. 100%, I think.
Yeah.
As well as putting together and nurturing amazing new groups, Little Mix performed on The Search every single week, and they wouldn't have been able to do it without their creative team, Black Skull. Black Skull have worked with Little Mix since 2019. They've been part of projects like Women Like Me at the Brits and the entire staging of Little Mix The Search. They also helped put together the LM5 tour, and they're working with the girls on the Confetti tour right now. Here, Black Skull's creative directors, designer Dan Shipton, producer Ross Nicholson, and choreographer Jay Revell open up about their work with the band. So how did working with Little Mix actually come about, and what was the first project that you guys worked on?
So how it came about was we got a phone call from Sam, their manager. So what are you guys doing in January and like maybe like the rest of like next year? I was like, what are you getting at? And she was like, how would you feel about jumping in and being the creative team for Little Mix going forward? And we didn't know that it was something that would be an option. We didn't know it was something that was available or coming up. And we obviously said yes straight away. And in the first show we did kind of as like a tentative, let's see how it goes, with no commitments to what might have been happening later, was The Voice in Holland in January of 2019. And it felt like it went really, really well. It was really refreshing for the girls. And then the next thing you know, we were talking about the Brit Awards. Without anyone saying you're actually doing the Brit Awards, the conversation just like began.
And were the girls what you expected when you first met them?
I'll put my head on the line and say I was totally surprised, because long gone are the X Factor days, but you know, you kind of don't know how much input some artists have, and we work with such a diverse range of artists that some people have loads of input and some people don't have much input at all. And I just didn't know where they were going to pitch themselves, but actually the amount of detail they get into and the amount of input that they do have is just so brilliant. And you can understand why they've made it to 10 years and why they have so much control, and actually they have taste and they like to challenge us and we like to challenge them. And I think that's been a really great relationship to kind of build upon, because some artists just don't want to get involved and some artists just don't have that kind of level of taste and that detail that they like to get into.
And you mentioned the Brits. It's insane that was your second production with them, because it's one of their best. Like, obviously they'd done Shout Out to My Ex, they'd done Black Magic, all these huge career-making performances for them. And I feel like this is the definitive Woman Like Me performance. Like, every part of it was epic, and even just the creative around it. Who came up with those concepts?
We came up with it initially, but I think there was a moment where I was randomly sat on the toilet thinking about this movie called Set It Off. That was maybe like a little bit of like a spark of this idea for the heist. I know it sounds random, but I really remember being sat on the toilet being like, remembering this Jada Pinkett, Queen Latifah movie. I'm thinking like the girls should be that. They should steal the Brits. And then I guess then like just as like a beginning story thread, me and the boys got together and the world of what it could be unfolded.
And what's it like also working with Paris Goebel on the choreography for that performance?
I thought it was sick. Like, we've worked with Paris before that. You know, she's a friend and she's dope. And I think it really added that we could have like this really world-class team like around us from like every step of the way.
And it's not just Paris as well. You think about what Zach and Jamie did with the styling, the set design that we put forward, the screen content. You know, when you do the Brits, you want to own the stage. You want it to almost flip it to be your show rather than being just another performance on the British stage. And so the idea of traveling it from one corner of the stage with them in that kind of around that glowing table and all the way and traveling using every element of that stage right until we get to the kind of big heist moment at the end, that kind of ownership was something that we felt only the girls could really deliver. And Paris really went with us on that journey of how to move that choreography along. But then it's also selling that into the Brits. You know, Phil, who's camera directing, it's a big ask to kind of split your cameras across such a long journey. But they, again, wanted to do it. They wanted to go on that journey with us. And yeah, it was amazing to pull that off.
And clearly that relationship just sort of like naturally blossomed because you've stuck with them ever since. And you even did the creative for their talent show, The Search. What was that like?
Like, working with them in that capacity was really inspiring and really exciting to see kind of how they developed, like over the 10 years, like how they developed to become kind of those mentors on that show and like to carry that show and to use their like knowledge and expertise in that way. It was really exciting to see them in those roles. as well, and like having put on design and having put on like the creation of a TV show, the format, the choosing of the band, the choosing of songs, like all of that. It was just a really great thing to see.
And as well as doing the creatives for the contestants, you got to do the creative for each of the Little Mix performances in the show. How different is staging like a ballad like Secret Love Song to a banger like Sweet Melody?
Very different. Because the girls are so seasoned, the ballads are so much easier because you don't have to talk to the girls so much about their performance, how they convey the emotion in the song, how they connect with each other. They kind of know all the rules of making like a really great performance kind of come together. So from a time perspective, like creating like something like, especially with like new music that they have, there's sleepless nights, like legit. Like I would wake up like 3 o'clock in the morning, like the chorus or like the dance break or like the inspiration for the music for the dance break. So I'm down for them to do ballads all the time.
I think there's also, you got to say about the ballads is that the emotional connection that they can draw out in an audience with that delivery and really letting their vocals shine, and the simplicity of that stands out when you're putting it against a backdrop of other performances where it's all singing, all dancing, all kind of big. And even on the LM5 tour, when they absolutely flew out over the audience on the Triangle, and it was just that you could literally hear a pin drop, and I never stopped crying whenever I saw that performance. And for me, it was just so beautiful, but it was actually so simple. But, the simplicity can cut through the bigger, more bold stuff. And
you also get the opportunity just to see like really just how talented they are as well. Like I think sometimes when there's so much other stuff going on, you've got like amazing choreography, you've got like other staging elements like kind of almost distracting you. When everything is stripped back and it's just them singing the ballad, it's very, they're very exposed and actually just shows like they can really sing. It's really nice, exciting.
And Dan mentioned that you were part of the LM5 tour. Are you guys working on the Confetti tour? Have you already started? What are you most excited about?
I think we're definitely excited. With what's happened with COVID, we've actually missed out on, is it 2 tours?
2 tours, yeah.
2 tours that were kind of like already in the process of becoming something as well, like designs and kind of like moods and set lists and things were really being, one of them was really kind of like already there, and then another one just got pushed. So to then reinvent a completely new idea now, it was something that felt like it was going to be really difficult, but now I think we've moved far enough forward with it. It's become really, really exciting. And to do something different, but also equally as powerful as LM5 is going to be the big challenge. Where we're at it's going to be something really, really special for the audiences.
I also think that we've been away from the live realm. We just want to party. We want to bring that kind of energy back. Yeah. And getting the girls out there with their fans in a live environment is what everyone's been gagging to do. So that's what's exciting, knowing what we've got planned, what all the new music that's coming, all the new exciting stuff that we've got coming. It's going to be a good one.
And I mean, all the singles that the girls have released this year, Confetti, Heartbreak Anthem, Kiss My, Love Sweet Love, haven't been performed live at all yet. How excited are you to actually work on creatives for those songs? Because they're still fresh.
I mean, this year, their songs have been absolute tunes. I've loved every single one of them that's come out. I can't stop singing them when I'm, listening to them at home. So to bring them to life is going to be super exciting for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited for Confetti for sure. Like Confetti as a song, definitely is one where it is in the tour and all of that kind of stuff. I think that one's one I'm definitely gassed about.
And just sort of rounding up, what's your favourite performance you've ever done with the girls?
I'm torn between BRITs. Woman Like Me, just always special doing a performance at the BRITs. And it was special because it was kind of our first big performance with the girls. But then I also have a massive sweet spot for Sweet Melody, and that performance with the lasers on The Search was one of my favourites as well.
Yeah, I mean, taking away all the numbers from LM5, because I just thought that show was so good. And I say Bounce Back in Australia on the Australian Voice was definitely a wicked, a dope moment. Doing the Touch Holiday remix on The Search was wicked, bringing the girls to life in that whole kind of 90s fan mail inspired world, their spaceship pods and stuff like that. And that number in general, how good it was, even with social distancing. I really love that. Or Jonathan Ross doing Sweet Melody. I think the girls have really died to do something like that. And I think it was a really great moment for them with a great song and a great time. So between those 3, I'm going to say Sweet Melody on Jonathan Ross.
I would have gone for Sweet Melody on Jonathan Ross as a 1 as well. But I will also say Wasabi on LM5 was an incredible moment for me. I love the way it was staged, but I also love the intro that we did for it and the setup with Piers Morgan and, you know, contacting all of those fans that have said something and have got an opinion and kind of bringing that together and really owning the fact that it's not okay to say all that shit and actually calling people out on it was just pretty cool. So I think the idea of Wasabi, but the flow into it with the way it worked from the intro video and then the way they rose out the stage and then just absolutely nailed it every time was just incredible.
Well, I think as well, because that song is so well loved and they weren't able to release it as a single. So the fact that it got a moment on tour meant a lot to fans. And I guess like what makes Little Mix so great to work with?
The fact that everything is a possibility. They want to do everything, try everything. It just means that like creatively, like there's so many avenues you can go down. There's not any limitations.
For me, the best thing is the creative relationship we have with them. The fact that they want to get into so much detail, the fact that they really care, the fact they have an opinion, and the fact that we get to do that with people that we would call friends feels so special because we're genuinely creating moments, iconic moments together.
For me, like, yeah, second everything that Jay and Dan have said, and also just that they're genuinely really amazing people and like really funny, really easy to work with. They're really kind of personable and collaborative. That makes such a difference when you work in that creative relationship, to have someone that you can have a laugh with and you can be honest with, and yeah, it's really important.
As we count down the days until the Confetti tour begins, let's return to Little Mix to discuss the Confetti album and Jesy's departure from the group at the end of 2020. Confetti is sort of reminiscent of Glory Days in the fact that every song again has been a huge hit, and you've really reminded everyone just how iconic you are. What are your favourite songs from that album?
Oh gosh. I really love Happiness.
Yeah. I think Sweet Melody is just that bitch.
Yeah.
Get us on stage, get us on tour, and let me hear do, please. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
And the crowd roars.
Yeah. Everyone will go off, like literally. What else?
Gloves Up.
Oh yeah, Gloves Up. We love.
Gloves Up. Epic.
Yeah.
Again, get me on that stage, get me on the tour. And let me hear.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to a song again that just doesn't get the love it deserves, and it's Breathe.
I love Breathe.
I tend to like the more sort of like chilled songs on the album.
Yeah.
That's why I love Breathe. Yeah. It's a mucker.
I love that song.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Jordan Sparks, Chris Brownie sort of vibe.
Oh, I love that song.
Yeah. Love.
Yeah. What is our ballad?
My Love Won't Let You Down.
Oh, My Love Won't Let You Down.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
Tune.
Breaks my heart.
Beautiful song.
Melts me.
Beautiful.
And 2020 as well, it ended with Jesy leaving the band, which was a really emotional moment for fans. But at the time, you girls were so professional. The way you literally did all those performances at The Search, the EMAs, on Jonathan Ross, on Strictly Come Dancing. I just wanted to know, how was that period for you girls?
Yeah, it was hard.
Really hard. Yeah, really hard, difficult. But I think we're just so lucky to have each other, to get each other through situations and circumstances like that, because we are blessed for that reason. It was hard. Yeah.
I mean, Jesy obviously brought so much to the band, but it was just incredible to see you girls still smash it while going through that. With Breakup's song on Strictly, with Sweet Melody on Jonathan Ross, you really delivered some of the best Little Mix performances ever, and just showed how strong you are as a group and how special you still are as a trio. It was amazing then, and it's even more amazing now looking back on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
The show must go on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the show has gone on. The past year has seen Little Mix achieve feat after feat after feat. Not only that, but they've collabed with some huge artists, including David Guetta and Galantis on Heartbreak Anthem and Sweetie on Confetti. They've also made hits with our guests, DJ Nathan Dawe and chart topper Anne-Marie. Nathan has become a chart staple in the UK thanks to dance hits like Flowers and Lighter. He also worked with Little Mix on their top 20 hit No Time for Tears. Meanwhile, Anne-Marie is one of the UK's most successful female solo artists. From Ciao Adios to Rockabye and 2002 to Don't Play, it's hard to imagine British pop without Anne-Marie. And she's just worked with Little Mix on their top 10 smash, Kiss My Uh-Oh. I spoke to both Nathan and Anne-Marie to find out what working on a song with the girls is really like. Let's catch up with Nathan first. So what is your first memory of Little Mix, and when did you become a fan of them?
I've been a fan for years. I think all my family and friends and my little cousins are just huge Little Mix fans. So I've always had the tunes on at parties and stuff. And when obviously I found out I'd be working with them, like everyone was just so excited around me, and it was an amazing experience. And I think we first met when I went to the studio with Jade and MNEK and Trey to write the tune. And just straight away, you just realise that, especially like Jade, like I say, is the first one that I met, just a normal girl that just loves what she does and loves her fans and the girls and the band and music in general so much. And it was just an absolute pleasure from the get-go to work with them.
As you mentioned with No Time for Tears, you wrote that in the studio with Jade. Did you have a concept for the song before you got in the studio together? How did that actually come about? I
just thought I'd never really heard Little Mix on something that sounds like what I put out, kind of a UK sounding club banger. And I had this idea of just a feel good song, a bit of attitude, a bit of sass. I think we nailed that. We actually got the name for the song within the first 5 minutes of all being together. And then we just kind of worked backwards from that. We were like, no time for tears, no time to be sad, just positive vibes. And we kind of built the song around the song title, which is quite unusual because sometimes you'll write a chorus or a hook and then the song title doesn't come towards the end usually. So it was quite weird to get the song title at the very beginning. But yeah, we just wanted like a happy, feel good kind of sassy tune. And you wrote it together with MNEK, Trey John Marie as well. But Jade, obviously, she's written loads now as an artist too. What's she like as a writer in the studio? It's very fast and very fun. Everyone in that room we had a great day, positive vibes. We're all great in our own lanes. All of us together just combined so well. And just ideas after ideas just kept kind of being chucked at it. It just fell together so quick. Like I say, the whole song was pretty much done in about 3 hours, which doesn't usually happen. So that it was quite exciting that it just fell together so nicely. And then working with a girl group as well, how does it work? Like, how do you decide who sings what? Do you send it off and everyone records the whole song each and then you piece it together, I guess? Yeah, so the recording process was obviously peak COVID times. So it was quite hard to get everybody in the same room at the same time. So a lot of it was done like virtually. The girls came in on different days. Sometimes they came in together, but it was like very strict timetable, like in, out, in, out. It's a bit annoying because it would have been amazing to just have everyone in the room, get it done and create a vibe. But in the end, they all did their bits, recorded it, and all sounded amazing. And have you had a chance to meet all of the girls properly now? Yeah, so we bumped into each other at the BRITs. It was quite funny because the girls had just announced their pregnancies and they were all there looking amazing. They were just in front of me on the red carpet. And then when we finished doing the red carpet pictures and interviews, we were all in the lobby. We were like, yo, we said hello, we got pictures. And it was the first time we all finally met in a place where we could actually talk and have a conversation rather than having masks and being spread out and stuff like that. So it was so nice. And it was nice to congratulate the girls, on their pregnancies. It was just an amazing day in general at the Brits, but it was just nice to be able to bump into them as well. And what would you say is the best thing about collaborating with Little Mix? I would say, one, how easy they are to work with when it comes to the technical ability from a vocal standpoint. It's just like, sing this, done, amazing, smashed it. From a promotional standpoint, their fan base has just been incredible and kind of took me under their wing straight away and just showed me so much love and really, really supported the record and me. And, I was kind of nominated for the MTV Push Award around the same time. And tons of their fans kind of voted for me. And I won the award in the end. So I'm always appreciative of that. Going into it, I didn't know what to expect. I only knew them from a fan point of view. But then when you actually work with them, it's like, wow, these girls are very, very kind of serious and professional and just amazing at their jobs. So, yeah, to be able to be involved in that was just incredible. We love a Little Mix DJ collab. Now, let's speak to Anne-Marie to hear the story behind how Kiss My Uh-Oh came together. Back right to the beginning, can you remember when you first met Little Mix in person?
Oh, I mean, we used to see each other every now and again at festivals and stuff, and that's how we really knew each other, really. But we used to talk about collaborating all the time, and it was a conversation for so long that eventually happened, which feels so good.
Well, this song is an absolute anthem. How long have you been sitting on it?
Oh, I think it's actually quite a recent song because we've been sending songs back and forth for ages, like years, and we never found one that felt right. But when I was doing the track list for this new album, I was like, this would sound so good with them on it. Like, they would just make it sound 100 times better, and they did. I said it to Leigh-Anne, and she was like, we love it. We're going to record it. And when I got it back, I was just like, this has to be a single now. Like, it wasn't before, and now it has to be, because they made it so brilliant. And I normally tend to collaborate with boys, and I'm just like, it feels great to collaborate with girls, for one, and they're the only girl duet and collaboration on the album. So yeah, they're special to me.
And it's so amazing hearing your voices blend. Like, you literally sound like part of the group. How did it feel when you heard their vocals on it for the first time?
It was honestly a dream. I get really obsessed with songs as well, so I just played it again and again and again. It's so cool because I'm singing like the first half, and then Perrie's singing the second, and then Jade sings her bit, and then Leigh-Anne sings her bit, and then on the first chorus I'm like the lead, and then the second chorus Perrie's the lead, and then so it's literally completely a collaboration. It's not like, oh, I'm singing most of it and they just come in on the middle eight. Like, it is all of us together, and that's what I try and do with all my collaborations, really. I want it to be proper connected to each other rather than just a little feature, you know?
Yeah, it feels like a proper Anne-Marie and Little Mix moment, like both equally. And you wrote the song with Camille and some other incredible writers. How was the actual writing process, and did you know that it was a smash when you were writing it?
I mean, when I heard the sample, I was like, yes, because I loved that song when I was younger anyway. And I just thought, if I'm going to use a sample in my music again, because 2002 I used quite a lot of samples, and I was like, I'm not going to do that again. But I was like, if I'm going to use another sample, it has to be one that I proper love. This just resonated with me straight away. And then me and Camille wrote the verses, and yeah, I mean, Camille's amazing. I love her, and she's written so many more on my album as well. So yeah, it is cool.
And the music video is everything. Hannah Lux did an incredible job directing it. And then Bridesmaids is obviously the perfect film to base it on. I can't believe no one's ever done that before in a music video.
I know. I was going back and forth with the director. I was saying, I really want to remake a movie. And we were going back and forth. We're going, should we do Grease Lightning? Should we do Chicago? I was thinking about doing the Cell Block Tango, and I was like, I'm not sure if they'll be able to dance that much with their babies in their bellies. But we ended up doing Bridesmaids, and I'm so happy about it because it is one of my favourite films, and I watch it all the time.
And you and Little Mix are both amazing performers. You always put on a show. Obviously, Leigh-Anne and Perrie were pregnant when the song came out, but have you got any plans for the future to do any sort of like live performances of the song together?
Yeah, I mean, we have to do a dance break for sure. When they've recovered and they're feeling better, I will 100% be learning a dance routine to go with this song and the live show, because I love dancing, but I don't really do it in my shows. Not like practiced anyway. If I was to dance, it would just be a little like jiggle. So yeah, that is my dream, of like seeing a live performance of that song, all of us doing a dance routine. That would be so cool.
Brits 2022, let's make it happen.
What a fucking great idea. We have to do it.
And finally, what's been your favourite part of doing Kiss My with Little Mix?
Getting to know them even more. I feel like I know them really well anyway, but just watching them work has been a different experience because I've only seen them in a chill setting, and I've spoken to them about, you know, mental health before, and I've spoken to Leigh-Anne about stuff, and it's very personal conversations that we have. But seeing them work is like a different sort of respect that you have for someone. It's like when I first worked with Ed Sheeran, I was like, oh, I just love watching people work. So seeing them even at the music video and how pregnant they were, and they were still going for it. And I just thought, do you know what? That's so inspiring to me to see them still working. If it was me, I'd be at home eating 2 bars, not say 2, probably 12 bars of chocolate. Do you know what I mean? So it's just inspiring. They're very inspiring girls to me, and it's just been a dream to collaborate finally with them.
Petition for Anne-Marie and Little Mix to do a full Bridesmaids remake. Kiss My Uh-Oh is just one of many hits that Little Mix have released this year, and they're not done yet. Let's find out what 2021 has meant to the girls so far. going into 2021, you've had a #1 single with Sweet Melody. You then had Best British Group at the Brits finally. Leigh-Anne released her critically acclaimed documentary, Leigh-Anne, Race, Pop and Power.
Yeah.
You've had 3 new top 10 hits. Like, out of all of that, what's been your highlight of the year so far?
Oh, all of that.
Yeah.
Everything you just said.
Literally everything. I think it's been such a nice year. Like, it really has been. I think career-wise and personal lives. It's just been a nice, positive, vibey land.
Yeah, it has.
You know?
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
It has been really nice.
It's felt quite easy. It's just like flowed nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not easy. Nothing's easy in Little Mix world, but you know what I'm saying.
No, but you mean like it's kind of like all falling into place nicely? Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
And also with all of your videos of the past year, you've not stopped serving. The fact that you gave us choreo, prosthetics, and then a whole narrative in Confetti, iconic. What have they been like to create?
Yeah, I mean, I think we just really fell with this campaign. Creatively, we're just doing things that we maybe haven't done before, and we've been given that freedom to do so and just be like, can we do this time? Can we do this? And then, the label's like, yeah, all right then. And then we just get someone in to do it with us. And, like the Confetti thing, we've been wanting to do that vibe for such a long time. So to finally get to do it, and it just all fell in place. It was perfect time, perfect song. And then again, even with Heartbreak Anthem, I feel like that song's been around for a long time, like, hasn't it? It's been floating around for like a good year and a bit. And we recorded it and we knew we loved the song, but it kind of was on the back burner for it. We kind of forgot about it a bit. And then we did the video. We were like, oh, we look stunning. As these gorgeous angels. And then it came out. And I feel like it's just took a life of its own, hasn't it? Heartbreak Anthem. Everyone's loving that song. It's like, oh, I almost forgot for a second how like sickening we are. Do you know what I mean?
It went top 50 on global Spotify. I mean, that's an international hit.
She's a hit.
Yeah, you got to love Graham Getter for playing it everywhere he DJs as well. It's amazing.
Yeah, thanks, hon.
I love that song.
Now, since I spoke to Little Mix, they've announced their first greatest hits, Between Us, and released their new single, Love Sweet Love. The campaign contains 5 brand new tracks alongside all of their biggest hits, and it drops worldwide November 12th. With that in mind, I caught up with Jade to get the 411 on Love Sweet Love and find out what we can expect from the rest of the Between Us era. So you've been up to a lot since I last spoke to you. First things first, how did Love Sweet Love start? And whose idea was it to have a self-love song with a double meaning?
So Love Sweet Love started, we were in a session with Emanike, Lauren Aquilina, and a producer and a songwriter called Sakima. And he came in with a bunch of beats already, like at the start of the session. So we were listening through them all, and then he played a beat with the sample of Love Sweet Love. We were like, ding, 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 ding. We were like, oh, we love it, we love it. It reminded us a bit of like old school Little Mix, but in a really good way. Do you know what I mean? Like Salute era vibe.
Yeah, it's very Salute, or even like a Grown Wings with those classic vocals.
Yeah, and I think hearing that sample and hearing the sort of big harmonies, we kind of were like, well, actually, we haven't done this for a while, like a big singy song where it's all about the vocal. And then we actually started off writing it just about, love in general. And then we were like, wait a minute, this should be more about loving yourself, but in a non-cheesy way. And then also, obviously, solo stimulation. What can I say?
Well, it's like you have Joan of Arc, Little Mix. You're not afraid to preach the word of solo stimulation.
Exactly. I think it's important that anyone can interpret the song in any which way they like. But there were a couple of lyrics that I personally wanted to change, which I might do on stage. You never know. There's a line where I'm like, so me and my tip's gonna give me all I need. And I wanted to say me and my toys, but it wasn't that.
When you do the acoustic version, maybe?
Maybe. There you go. But yeah, I actually really love this song. Yeah, it's just really nice to hear us doing those big vocals again. And you know what Emanike is like, he loves throwing in all the big ad-libs and the harmonies. So yeah, for me, it's like one of my favourites in terms of like vocal production and stuff.
Oh my gosh, those ad-libs at the end, Jade. When you come in with that, give me at the end, chef's kiss. Absolute chills. And obviously, Love Sweet Love is part of the greatest hits, Between Us. When did you girls actually decide that you wanted to release a Greatest Hits?
I think it just kind of felt right. You know, it's the 10-year anniversary. We were thinking a lot about how would be the best way to celebrate that. Obviously, the girls were pregnant, and so we also try to like work around what's the best thing we could do that will be good for the girls as well as the group and as well as the fans. And so it seemed right that it was time to do a sort of Greatest Hits. But we were like, we don't want to call it Greatest Hits because that makes us sound really old.
Not old at all. You're just very accomplished.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I think it's pretty major to have like a long enough career to be able to like create an album with all of your hits for the years. Like that's such a big deal and such a big milestone for us. And so, yeah, we wanted to celebrate that. And we love that we've given you, you know, I don't even know how many covers and formats for the album. Like, here's another one. Here's another one.
The artwork is stunning. It's literally the most stunning artwork you've ever done. It feels like a Greatest Hits moment.
Absolutely. And then, you know, there's obviously a few new tracks on there as well. So we wanted to make sure there was a few surprises as well as big hits.
Well, yeah, like you said, there's 4 new tracks as well as Love, Sweet Love. How different are they vibe-wise to Love, Sweet Love?
Yeah, quite different actually. So I'd say Love, Sweet Love is like the big thingy one. And then there's a couple of like just good like pop bangers, pure popness, which we love. Then there's like, you know, more sort of mid-tempo-y ballady song, which is like quite emotional, which again, we haven't really done for a while. So that was nice to do. Yeah, those sessions were so fun because it was just us in the room being like, okay, well, let's just do whatever feels good in this moment and not overthink it and not worry about what's out at the minute or what we should be doing. You know, it was very much just like, let's just write a few bangers that we would listen to and that we would enjoy. And so that's how those tracks kind of came about, and, you know, mostly done with people that we've worked with a lot over the years, which made it even nicer.
And you've already teased that the week you filmed the Love, Sweet Love video, you filmed 2 other videos. Fans have sort of deduced that one of those is probably the Kiss My video, but the other one is probably an unreleased video. Is there anything you can tease about the vibe of that?
I couldn't possibly say, but yes. Yes, it is another video. Yeah, and the girls were obviously still preggers, bless them. I honestly don't know how they did that. I was like, hats off to yous, because, you know, they were swollen ankles and they were obviously tired and hormonal, bless them, and getting through those long days, as is anyways, is very difficult. Video shoots are known for being like very long days. So yeah, fair play to them for getting through it. But yeah, the other video is another like fun look moment. I feel like at the minute, every time we've done a video, we've saved you like a different look or like a different character, you know? Mm-hmm. And the next one's no different.
Fashion Mix is fully here to slay, as always.
Fashion Mix is thriving.
And obviously we've got the tour next year. Is the set list coming together yet? Is there anything you can tease about that?
Yes, the set list is locked in, I believe. We've confirmed it, yeah. Because, you know, we planned this for months and months and months in advance. So, to be honest, it wasn't too stressful sorting out the set list. We had to let go of a few that, you know, we'd love or one of us loves. But I think we've got the right balance between the big hits and the fan favourites for this tour, as well as, you know, trying our best to make sure Confetti still has a big moment as an album.
Well, also, it's been so sweet to see with those picture discs that you've each done separately, that you've chosen 2 of your favourite album tracks to go on your own versions. And they're songs that you've actually picked out as your favourite songs on this podcast. So, like, it's really exciting that the fans are going to get, like, Mr. Loverboy and Wasabi on an actual vinyl together.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, it was a tough decision. I was torn. Obviously, Wasabi had to make it because justice for Wasabi. But also, yeah, for me, it was between Mr. Loverboy or Boy, because I think Boy is, like, such a moment as well, like, with the harmonies. It's very, like, early Destiny's Child. And I remember always being so proud of that song. I remember we tried pushing that for a single at one point as well. So, like, imagine if for the first time on the radio there was just like an a cappella song. But obviously the label were like, no, that doesn't work.
Well, I was chatting with Megan Cotone and she was saying she helped with the vocal arranging and she really thought that it deserved to have that single moment. And even actually talking about, obviously, Strip, at the one time that was meant to be the lead single. And that was similar in how stripped back it would have been for radio.
Yeah. I think there's a lot to be said for that. And I think for us over the years, we always tried our best to always come out with something that wasn't the same as everything else in that moment. And so, you know, things like that make all the difference. And it's good for, like, paving the way, being like, oh, well, we brought out a song that was very stripped back and still did well. But, you know, everyone's got to be on board with that bravery, I think. I feel like we have done many moments like that, especially when it came to first singles over the years, like songs like Move. for me, when that came out, it was like a breath of fresh air on radio, you know?
Yeah, completely vocal led. And you always have your moments on your albums like Boy, the beginning, the end, just where you sort of prove that there's no one else like you.
Precisely.
And that sadly brings us to our final Little Mix segment with the girls. With another iconic year in the bag, here's what Jade, Leigh-Anne and Perrie have to say about their growth over the past 10 years and the future of Little Mix. So reflecting now, it's 2021, 10 whole years since you originally started. How do you think you've individually changed and how do you think you've changed as a group?
Wow. I think for me, I feel like I have two separate lives. Does anyone else feel like that? I feel like first 5 years of Little Mix, because we were so young, we were babies, and it was like everything was new and exciting and wow, what's going on? Woo, traveling the world. It's like, woo. And then the next chapter of my life, it's like where we've matured and we've really cemented ourselves in the industry and we're seen as credible and I'm having a baby. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I've got two separate kind of timelines of my life. And I just feel really grateful because I feel like we're in such a good place right now and we're all just so happy. I think the main thing that we all love in life is just to be happy and content. And I think that's the happiest and most content we've felt in a long time. Well, personally speaking, can't speak on behalf of everyone, but yeah, that's what I would say.
I definitely feel like a more confident person. I've definitely grown into myself as years have gone on, and like now I'm like, I know who the fuck Leigh-Anne Pinnock is. Like, and I feel very, as Perrie said, very content. I love my Little Mix life, my Little Mix world, and I'm so excited for our futures. Yeah, I just feel like it's all good vibes.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with Leigh-Anne. I think I've really sort of in the last couple of years found myself and I'm sort of just really content with who I am and who I'm becoming and worrying less and less about the opinion of others or proving myself or as a group to other people and just, yeah, celebrating who we are as a group and individually. I think that just comes with age and experience. And yeah, and it's really nice. I feel like all three of us have reached that lovely balance of like work and personal lives. And yeah, it's just a really lovely environment. And I definitely feel the happiest I've felt, I think. Yeah, we're all loved up and we're all happy and yeah.
Yeah.
Yay.
As we've discussed, like over these few weeks, you've achieved so much. What are you proudest of in your career?
I'm proudest of just still being here after 10 years. Honestly, that still blows my mind. I think it's fucking incredible for a girl band to still be together after 10 years. It's literally unheard of. Don't know if lockdowns made me more emotional, but I do find myself like watching Little Mix videos now and again or just thinking, you know, sitting lying myself thinking about what we've achieved together. And I'm just like so unbelievably proud of us for getting through everything we've got through in the last 10 years and still loving each other more than ever, really. I feel like we're the closest we've ever been, and I think that's really beautiful to say that after 10 years of being in each other's pockets 24/7.
Oh, I agree.
Me too.
Oh, it'd be mushy.
Just to finish, you've literally gone from being put together by Kelly Rowland to selling as many records as Destiny's Child now. Like, you've literally both sold over 60 million records worldwide.
What? Have we? What?
Yeah, the exact same amount.
Bloody hell. And we're not even as international as them. Jesus.
So, I mean, from that, what is next for Little Mix? And where do you think you'll be in another 10 years' time?
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. 10 years' time? Well, with the help of some Botox. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, stop it. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
10 years' time? I just can't stop thinking about next year. I don't know what's going to happen in 10 years, but in 1 year's time, or not even, we're all going to be on the road together again, touring, living our best lives.
Yay!
The time of our lives, doing what we love, performing to our fans, and everything we do is for tour. So just touring and just having fun together. Who knows what we'll be up to in 10 years?
Oh God, I know.
Could be anything, no one knows.
Yeah, 10 years' time, Jesus. Your kids will be 10 years old by then. Let that sink in.
I know.
I'll probably still be the drunk auntie, like rolling in. The family gathering. you know, making a show of myself.
I love it. Nah, absolutely not. You'll not be far behind.
Yeah, we'll see.
I can see us on tour in 10 years.
Yeah, 100%.
I can see us on tour in 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, how old will we be? 40? Jesus Christ.
What?
We're going to be 40 in 10. Well, I will. 40. Damn.
I'll be 30 odd, like late 30s. Oh, God, now.
There you go.
Well, I mean, you can guarantee that all the mixers will still be in the audience whenever you tour.
Oh, yeah, in full force.
I hope so.
Oh, they will.
Yeah.
Don't doubt it.
We just need to make sure we don't lose it, you know?
Yeah.
Keep it good.
Yeah. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I know your schedules are crazy and I really appreciate it. And I know the fans will too.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for being so lovely.
Yes.
I hope you get to enjoy the rest of the year, like properly enjoy celebrating the 10-year anniversary and like all the best. Obviously, Perrie and Leigh-Anne with your babies and Jade with your constant songwriting success.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks. Thank you. We love you. Thanks for being so supportive.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Sam.
So that's it for The Power of Little Mix. You can listen back to all 5 episodes exclusively on Global Player now. As for Little Mix, their story is far from over. Their new greatest hits album, Between Us, comes out November 12th, and you can still buy tickets to select dates on the Confetti tour next year. You don't want to miss it. But before we go, I think we've got just enough time to listen to a final few messages from the mixers on our Little Mix hotline.
Hello, this is the Little Mix hotline. Please state your name, where you're from, your favorite Little Mix moment, and what Little Mix means to you.
Hi, my name is Marsha and I'm from Jamaica, and I just want to say my favorite Little Mix moment has to be when they won their award for Best Group at the BRITs. They deserve that award so much. They have been through so much in the past 9 years, and I know that they deserved it. They know that they deserved it. And I know they said that they don't need awards to validate that they are talented, amazing, the best group ever. But it's also nice to win awards at some point, isn't it? And I just want to say that I love you guys so much. Leigh-Anne, Jade, Perrie.
Hi, girlies. It's Courtney from Memphis. My favorite Little Mix moment is probably when y'all won the Brit this year. I had faith. I was literally tweeting every day, Little Mix are going to win. They're going to win. And y'all won. And I was so happy. If you would have saw my reaction, I literally screamed. And you guys mean so much to me because you've been a part of my life since I was in elementary school. And you've just been authentic. You've been real. You've been kind. You've been loving. You've been amazing. You've been beautiful. You don't feel like my role model, so I have to do everything perfectly. You feel like my bigger sisters that I never met that I'm going to meet one day. I will see you at a show. I promise you. I will not watch you through a screen. One day it's going to happen. Anyways, I love you. Thank you for being you so much. I love you. Bye.
Hi, I'm Pinja and I'm from Finland. My favorite Little Mix moment is probably when they got this year's first #1 single with Sweet Melody. The song had been out for ages and suddenly every single version of Sweet Melody was on the top 10 of the UK's iTunes. Even though I'm not from the UK, I feel like mixers worked so hard for getting the #1 by buying and streaming the song, and I can only imagine how special it felt for the girls. I've basically grown up from a teenager to an adult with Little Mix. I genuinely think I wouldn't be the same person as I am today without the girls. I've gotten more confident about being myself, and now I'm happy to be me, and I've learned to appreciate myself more. That's probably the biggest thing why the girls mean so much to me. Since I've gotten into the fandom, I've made great friends, and I feel like I've found a place where I feel like I belong and where I feel safe. I really hope that one day I can see the girls live, and hopefully I can tell them in person that they mean a lot to me. I want to say a massive thank you to Little Mix and happy 10 years. I love you.
Audio clips in this episode include Little Mix winning British Group at the Brit Awards in 2021. The clip is from ITV and the production company was Something Else.
If you enjoyed The Power of Little Mix and would like to listen to more PopBuzz podcasts, then you should check out Coming Out Chats. I'm PopBuzz editor Woodrow White, And in this podcast series, each week we'll be pairing up two well-known faces from the LGBTQ community to share their coming out journeys.
Even as a 5-year-old, didn't know what being trans was or like any of that bullshit. But like in my brain, I've always been a guy and it was the rest of the world that was confused to me.
Sometimes our guests might know each other.
So this is really interesting, actually, because obviously we've known each other for decades, darling. But I've actually never heard your coming out story.
Or it might be the first time that they've ever met.
Hey, Bella.
Hello, how are you doing? You all right?
I'm all right, babes. How are you?
I'm better now I'm here with you. Hello.
Either way, they're about to share an important part of their personal stories, how they became the people they are today.
I remember I was in first grade and this kid named Jonathan on the bus called me a lesbian. And I was like, I'm not a lesbian. And then I was like, what's a lesbian?
During this series, we're going to discover how each person's coming out story is unique.
My mum, out of nowhere, just goes, Nick! Your son wants to tell you he's gay!
That there isn't just one way to come out.
When did you first come out? And I'm aware that it's like, come out as what? Which time?
Right, well, we got to keep this under an hour, so I'll pick one.
And how these stories can help us connect and relate to each other.
I feel like that's what makes the community so important, because it's literally community, and you know that the people surrounded by you went through or are going through the same exact thing as you.
So make sure you hit subscribe now and join us next week for Coming Out Chats. Listen on Global Player or wherever you get your podcasts.